You get paid on Friday. By Sunday night, you've already ordered takeout twice, upgraded something on Amazon, said yes to a random subscription free trial, and booked a weekend trip you deserve. You look at your bank account Monday morning and think, wait, where did it all go? Then you tell yourself, it's only a few $100s. I work hard. I'll make it back. If that feels painfully familiar, that's literally most people. And here's the thing. That few $100s, specifically around $500 a month, might be the exact reason you're still financially average. If you're someone who is stuck or stagnant about personal finance, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today we're not just talking about spending. We're talking about identity. We're talking about psychology. We're talking about the silent leak that separates wealth builders from everyone else. And I'm going to challenge something early. The problem isn't that you don't make enough money. It's that you're miscalculating one critical $500 window every month. Look, most people think financial success comes from a higher salary, a big break, a lucky investment, starting a business. But according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average household spends over $6,000 per year on dining out. Add subscriptions, small impulse buys, lifestyle upgrades, and convenient spending, and that number climbs fast. That's roughly $500 per month. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but everyone spends money. That's normal. Exactly. That's the problem. Normal spending creates normal results. Here's what most people don't realize. $500 per month invested instead of spent isn't just $6,000 a year. Let's break this down simply. $500 per month equals $6,000 per year. If you invested $500 monthly into a simple index fund averaging 8% annually, which historically aligns with long-term stock market returns, over 20 years, you're looking at roughly $295,000 to $300,000. Over 30 years, that number climbs to about $745,000. And this is where it gets really interesting. That's from just $500 a month. Not a business, not crypto, not a crazy side hustle, just consistent redirection. So when people say, I just need to make more money, I get slightly frustrated. Because often, they don't have an income problem. They have a miscalculation problem. Let's zoom out. Why does this happen? Because $500 doesn't feel like a lot in isolation. Our brains are wired for short-term comfort over long-term compounding. Behavioral economists call this present bias, the tendency to overvalue immediate rewards and undervalue future gains. You don't feel the pain of losing $745,000 in 30 years. You feel the pleasure of DoorDash in 30 minutes. And your brain wins that battle every time. Another psychological factor? Lifestyle inflation. According to research from Princeton University, happiness increases with income up to a certain point, historically around $75,000 per year, after which emotional well-being levels off. Yet spending keeps increasing. Why? Because spending becomes tied to identity. You're not just buying food, you're buying convenience, status, escape, reward, validation. That $500 isn't about math. It's about emotion. The I deserve it trap. Now, you might be thinking, but I work hard. I deserve to enjoy my money. Yes, you do. But here's the thing. There's a massive difference between intentional enjoyment and unconscious leakage. Let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine made $95,000 a year. Solid income. Yet he always said he felt behind. We looked at his numbers. Between dining out, random Amazon buys, and used subscriptions and spontaneous weekends, he was spending around $600 a month on things he barely remembered 2 weeks later. He wasn't reckless. He was average. When he redirected just $400 of that into investments and automated it, two things happened. His stress dropped. His identity shifted. He stopped seeing himself as someone trying to catch up and started seeing himself as an investor. That shift changed everything. The real cost isn't financial. It's psychological. Here's what most people don't realize. The $500 mistake doesn't just cost you money. It costs you momentum. When you invest consistently, something powerful happens. You start thinking long-term. You delay gratification more easily. You design your lifestyle around freedom, not impulse. But when you spend that $500 every month, you reinforce short-term thinking. You stay reactive instead of strategic. It's like trying to fill a bathtub while the drain is slightly open. You're working hard. You're pouring water in, but it never feels full. Let's simplify this. Average mindset. I'll invest when I make more. Wealth builder mindset. I'll build a habit now so when I make more, it scales. The wealth builder doesn't wait for a perfect income. They build the system first. Because habits compound faster than money. But what if $500 feels impossible? Now, you might be thinking, I don't even have an extra $500. That's fair. So start with this exercise. Audit your last 60 days. Not judgment, just awareness. Categorize. Dining, subscriptions, impulse buys, convenience spending. Ask yourself one question. If I had to cut 20% of this without lowering my happiness, what would go? Most people can find $200 to $500 just in unconscious spending. And if you truly can't, then your mission becomes income growth, but with the rule that your first $500 increase goes to investing, not upgrading your life. Action plan. The $500 rewire. Here's the practical part. Step 1. Automate first. Set up automatic investments the day after payday. Make investing invisible. Step 2. Create a freedom fund. Rename your investment account. Not brokerage. Not retirement. Call it freedom. Psychology matters. Step 3. Increase by $50 every 3 months. Make it progressive. Slowly normalize higher investing, not higher spending. Look, the goal isn't to hoard money. The goal is optional. When your investments hit $100,000, compounding starts working harder than you do. At $250,000, growth becomes noticeable. At $500,000 plus, momentum accelerates. But you don't get there with random financial behavior. You get there with one consistent monthly decision. The $500 choice. Spend it or plan it. That's it. This isn't about deprivation. It's about direction. You can still travel. Eat out. Enjoy life. But do it from strength, not leakage. Here's what most people don't realize. Financial freedom doesn't start at $1 million. It starts the moment you control the first $500. And this is where it gets really interesting. Once you prove to yourself you can redirect that money consistently, your confidence grows. You start taking smarter risks. You negotiate better. You think long-term. Money behavior reshapes identity. Identity reshapes destiny. Look, I say this with respect, but also urgency. Staying financially average isn't about intelligence. It's about inertia. And inertia is broken by one decision repeated monthly. So here's your challenge. Before your next paycheck hits, decide where your first $500 is going. Not emotionally. Strategically. If this video shifted your thinking even slightly, hit the like button so more people see this. Subscribe if you're serious about building wealth with intention, not just hustle. And comment below. If you had to redirect $500 starting this month, where would it come from? Your future self is built one decision at a time. Make this month the one that changes the trajectory.